thank you all so much for coming out. What a special occasion. I know you're all here because we're going to watch the documentary Wolf's Message later, but the idea was just given to us, inspired us to do a special remembrance here of Wolf in the spot where he took his last physical breath. But I can guarantee you that he is still very much around. He's been talking to me all day and probably to some of you as well, because that's the way he works. We're here with Wolf's dad, Mike. His stepmom, Beth, couldn't be with us, but she sure is with us down in Georgia and in spirit. This is a sacred gathering, really, to be in the place where he used to meditate. When I first heard about somebody that meditated in a cemetery, I thought, that's really different. And Wolf was different. And I'm sure that he felt all the souls around here and understood that they are not dead and gone, that they're very much here. So as we remember Wolf now, I do want to also acknowledge that one of the main things that Wolf's story shares with all of us is that all of our loved ones are still part of our lives. So this is a remembrance for Wolf, but it's a remembrance for those you love who have crossed the veil as well. And we're honoring my stepdaughter Susan, who like Wolf was struck and killed by lightning. We're here with our director Jim Spruell and his wife Gloria. You'll meet them later at the film, and their son Dakota is very much a part of making this film happen. And all of you have somebody that we can honor. So I'm going to have some more words to say, but I want to turn this over to Mike now.
Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you all for coming. And like Suzanne said, Beth would have loved to be here today, but unfortunately her illness has overtaken the risks of coming here, so to be safe, she stayed at home. But you already know what a beautiful spot this is. To me, it's one of the most powerful energy areas I've ever experienced. You have the blue skies meeting the hallowed sacred ground of Burial Hill overlooking the sea. I can see why Wolf came up here and merged himself with those energies. And look what happened. Wolf was looking for himself, looking to help people. When he moved to Plymouth, he really blossomed as an artist. He joined the poetry club, he read poetry, he met some wonderful people who showed him compassion and love, took him in as family. He took people, as I found out at the memorial service, off the street and brought them to his apartment to help them when he saw somebody in despair. He had the biggest heart, and he continues to show that love. I want to thank the community of Plymouth and all the people who met Wolf, helped him in his journey to get us where we are today. I can't thank you enough, and I know Wolf has your back.
Beautiful. Thank you. As Mike was talking, it just occurred to me, if you're talking about the four elements, we have the earth and the air, the water, but the fire would be the lightning. He brought it all together here in this spot. We have so much to learn from those across the veil, and Wolf has been so present with me. Somebody just asked me recently, do you hear from Wolf very much? And I haven't until about a week and a half ago, and now he's just ever present, as is Susan, and I feel Dakota all the time. So I'm just really grateful for this new sense of their presence. And so this morning, he came to me without my asking, and he told me that he wanted us to go through his final picture and his poem at this remembrance service here and just mine it for the lessons that it has, because he wrote it for all of us. And he wrote it, if you're not familiar with the story, within 2 days of being struck and killed by lightning. I know that because Mike was in his apartment, studied all the artwork on his walls that day, 2 days before he was struck and killed, and that poem was not there. So we know that it was very recent. And it began his poem with the line, "Spirit of great healer, awaken within this heart." And as you examine that line, spirit is in everything. It's in all the elements. Spirit is our very essence. But to identify spirit as the great healer is to acknowledge God, the force, the source, consciousness, whatever your term is for that great spirit, as the healing force of all that is. So Wolf's wish was that all of us find the spirit within us and use it to heal ourselves and our world. Like in an aircraft, you have to put the mask on yourself first. So heal yourself by acknowledging that life force flows through you. And so in his poem, he's invoking the spirit of the great healer, awaken within this heart. And the heart is where it has to start. And you'll hear in the movie, his main message is about we have to get out of the head and more into the heart. And we're not talking about the heart that breaks and the heart that opens. We're talking about the heart of us, the energetic core of all of us that never changes, that is the source of all that we experience. That healing comes from finding that place of silence and no change, and finding the part of your story that's not aligned with love. So the spirit of great healer, from knowing Wolf, may you awaken within all of these hearts. And then his next wish for all of us was peace and tranquility flow like water. And if you haven't realized it, Wolf spelled backwards is flow. So Wolf knew that accepting that flow is our true nature brings peace and tranquility. It's when we stop flowing with what life brings into our life that we suffer. I had one person say to me, why did he come to the tree if he knew he was going to die and cause his family suffering? He flowed with that awareness that he was leaving this earthly realm, knowing he had a mission, that he was going to help others come to know we are the light of nature. And when you come to that awareness, then truly peace and tranquility do flow. You all know from having someone you know pass to the other side, that's a tragedy for us here, as it was for Mike and Beth and for all of us when we have to say goodbye to someone. But Wolf's story and the poem and the drawing that he left is proof that there's a part of us that is part of something bigger, the soul, and that doesn't die. With that awareness, we can find peace and tranquility at any time. So spirit of great healer, awaken from within this heart, peace and tranquility flow like water. And that final prophetic line, the time has come to allow the light of nature to free my soul. The light of nature, in his case, being lightning, but it's beyond that. The light of source, nature, the light of consciousness, being aware of how that flows through all of us will free you from the suffering of being human in any moment. You don't have to die to come to that awareness. This is what's so beautiful about Wolf's message. Seeing the film can transform your life. Reading about Wolf's story can transform your life. His story is all about freedom and balance, balancing the head with the heart, and freedom from human suffering that results when we think we're only human. Wolf's message shows us we are not only human. We are souls right here and now, the light of nature in a body. And that final drawing has that yin-yang symbol in the center, the perfect symbol of harmony and balance. If you're feeling out of balance, go to the center of you. Take a deep breath, find that core, and then come back into your story. Now on the right side, I hope most of you already know the story because this is definitely a spoiler, but the right side shows this tree with the 2 red roses that Mike and Beth put at the base of it after he was killed, having no ritual in their family of leaving roses anywhere. So imagine finding that drawing with the picture of where he was killed, with the roses you just put there. How could he possibly know, is what Mike asked. And he knew because his soul knew. But on the left side, we don't focus on this in the movie, but it is in the book, Wolf's message. he drew a dream catcher, which is the perfect symbol, the Native American symbol, and they certainly knew all about balance, the symbol of our interconnectedness, of the web of life. And that interconnectedness shows us, yes, we speak of two worlds, the physical world and the non-physical world, but there is also, in reality, just one world, all connected. And the more you acknowledge that, the more you start seeing the signs, the synchronicities, and hopefully start feeling your loved ones who have passed, because they're right here. There's nowhere else for them to be but here in the light of awareness. So I'm grateful to Wolf for the messages he brought back for all of us so that we can awaken to the truth of who we are now and not suffer so much and help others not suffer as well. So why don't we just take a moment? We usually call it a moment of silence, and it will be silence, but Wolf wants you to make it a moment of gratitude for the love that your loved ones who have passed brought into your life, for a moment to ask them how you can bring more love into this world because they were in it. And if you would join us in a moment of gratitude for Wolf, for bringing us all together here and being messengers to go forth with that message. So let's give gratitude. And so it is. I'm smiling because we think that ceremonies like this are somber, and there is a part of them that are, as we go back to the memories and we miss their physical presence, but I'm smiling because I sense Wolf and Susan and Dakota practically doing cartwheels. They're so excited that we're all here. They're just jumping around and just thrilled that you all showed up for this to celebrate together. So we will see you later at the Spire Center, but those of you who brought a rose, what a beautiful way to honor Wolf and your loved ones, and we invite you to leave those at the base of the tree. Anything else you want to say, Mike?
Again, thank you all for coming, and especially the people of Plymouth who became Wolf's friends. Thank you for helping him, and I can never thank you enough from the bottom of my heart, and Beth sends her love to you all too. Hope you enjoy the film and it helps transform your lives and some of your beliefs also.
Thank you all very much.